Hi, I'm Nicole. I'm the Operations Director here at Qdos, and in this video today we're going to be covering off some recent political changes. Now, it's been a very busy couple of weeks politically. Last week we had the opening of a new term of Parliament with the King's speech, and in actual fact that was King Charles' first speech and actually Rishi Sunak's first King's speech as well. The premise of the King's speech is for the monarch to set out the government's plans for the next year in terms of what it intends to do from a legislation perspective. Unsurprisingly, lots of commenters said that Rishi Sunak used this as an opportunity to further draw lines between them and the opposition party in Labour. One area of interest for some contractors that came out of the King's speech is the new law that is being proposed to introduce annual oil and gas licences. Now, this point is very polarising from a political perspective and very much goes against Labour's climate change agenda. Now, this could potentially result in increased jobs and job security for those working in the energy sector, most notably in oil and gas. Furthermore, as far as what wasn't said in the King's speech was anything around tax changes. Now, that's not necessarily surprising given that we have the Chancellor's autumn statement coming up in the next week. Now, as I mentioned, this was Rishi Sunak's first King's speech, and in actual fact, Rishi Sunak has actually only been our Prime Minister for little more than a year. So that makes it even more interesting that actually this week he had a significant cabinet reshuffle. Now, in terms of what we saw was the exit of the Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, and a rather interesting return to government in the form of David Cameron, our ex-Prime Minister, coming in as the Foreign Secretary. Now, again, from a contractor's perspective, what does this all mean? Now, the significant cabinet reshuffle only happened just this week, so we've yet to actually see what sort of impact this could have on the self-employed economy. One area of note is the fact that our Chancellor remains the same, so it will be Jeremy Hunt giving the autumn statement speech next week, where we might see some changes around potentially IR35 reform, other tax changes that affect contractor workers. So we'll need to watch this space and ultimately see. All of this gives rise to the increasing speculation of when we can expect our next general election. Mr Sunak's approach to reshuffling this cabinet at this point is rather telling and could ultimately be in preparation of that in the coming months. As it stands this week, we are into week 2 of our new session of Parliament. We have our autumn statement next week where we'll get to hear all about what the government intends to do from a fiscal and financial perspective over the coming year. And ultimately it's a wait and see type situation as far as when we can expect that next general election. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you want to stay up to date with news and views from Qdos. Thank you.